Hey everybody, welcome to Scribbles with Jonathan. I'm your host, Jonathan Rector. You can check out my website and my work at jonathanrector.com. And if you guys are on Twitter, you can follow me there as well at twitter.com/artbyjar. Okay, so today I'm going to try to do my best to get this sucker under 10 minutes, 10-15 minutes. So we're going to keep it pretty simple and hopefully get you some basics in there. What I'm going to be talking about is this really cool method I found through Doug TenNapel, which I think a lot of people are aware of his work, Rat Fist, Ghostopolis. He's doing, or actually, what was it? Earthworm Jim? I think a lot of people are familiar with that. He was talking about how he likes to write stories using index cards. And he has this method to his madness, and that's what I'm going to do today. So I'm going to show it live for you guys here. And you guys can try doing this to your own stories. I find it helps me big time. It's pretty simple. This kind of stuff, I would think on it and look back on it as time goes by. Maybe give yourself a month or maybe a few weeks. But I'm going to try to do it simple and keep it pretty quick. So we should probably get into it. The idea is you get 3 index cards, or a piece of paper like I have in this, just for this case, which would represent your Act 1, Act 2, Act 3. Okay, and if you're not familiar with what acts are, definitely check out some books or do some Wikipedia searches. You'll find that information pretty quick. Then what you're going to do is you're going to give each act a beginning, middle, and end card. Okay, so those 3 get replaced by 9 new cards. Okay, beginning, middle, and end for that. That's as far as I'm going to do this video. Another suggested thing you can do after that is you take those 9 cards, replace those each with a beginning, middle, and end, and you're going to end up with 27 cards. And you're going to see why you're going to do this. Basically, it's taking a grand idea, and it's pure. It's like filtering it down to its purest form for you to make a plot. And then from those plots, it's not going to write the story for you, but it keeps you on track of where you want to go with it. And the reason why I say to reflect on this is because you're going to have different ideas. Things are going to change, but when you want to put in a new note card to replace something, you can see if it works. So without saving or also one quick thing before I do this real quick, if anybody knows where Doug happened to have gotten this idea from, whether it was a book, maybe he's just a genius and came up with it himself, in which case I'm floored. But if you guys know of a book or a website that talks about this in depth, please leave it in the little comments below. Send me a message, anything, because I'm eating this stuff up. So first step, what you're going to do is make 1 card, and I'm going to write before I actually pretend make a card. Okay, and this is what you want to preach, something like a theme. It could be anything. Okay, it could be religion is bad, religion is good, murdering is good, stealing is bad, brothers forever, that kind of stuff. So I'm going to keep it real simple. We're going to say I don't know, candy is the best. Okay, we're going to keep it real simple here. So candy is the best. And right off the top, I mean, I could, in my mind to you guys, candy could be candy that you're eating. Or maybe candy is the name of a prostitute. Candy is the name of a store. Candy is the name of a place that people go to. You want to keep it as detailless as possible. But in this case, I'm going to keep candy as the food you're eating. So that I want to really tell people that the moral of my story is candy is the best, okay? So what you're going to do with that first card is the moral and the theme of your story, okay? What you're going to do now is that has become your Act 3. Okay? So Act 1 is a counter-argument to that, okay? So what would be an argument that candy is the best? Easy enough. Candy... I'm going to spell, oh, there we go, rots your teeth. That's a valid argument. Candy rots your teeth. Bang. That's Act 1. Okay? Now, the simplest thing, and obviously the hardest thing in writing, for me anyway, is Act 2. That big, beefy Act 2. Now, what Act 2 is the transition between the two. What happens from the starting of candy rots your teeth to candy is the best, okay? So an example in this, candy rots your teeth. All right, well, what happens when the character all of a sudden thinks that candy is the best? Top of my head, candy is the best. Maybe friend. What's a friend going to do? Friend... see, this is the tricky part, and doing this on a recording with you guys it's going to make it tricky, because trying to come up with a story, like on the fly, it's tough. Let alone do it on your own. Okay, a friend. What's the friend going to do? The difference between rotting your teeth and candy is the best. Oh, okay, here we go. Friend brushes teeth. Sure. Okay, so here's your act 2. Now, essentially, you're done. Your story's done. You know you have your story. You have your 3 acts. Act 1 has to establish that candy can rot your teeth. As soon as that establishes, bang, act 1's done. Act 2, a friend brushes his teeth. That's done. Act 3, candy's the best. But let's push it further. Let's go to the next step. So what you're going to want to do here, and this is why I'm only going to do this stage here, because all of a sudden this starts taking up a lot of room. Now I have to come up with a beginning, middle, and end for Act 1, a beginning, middle, and end for Act 2, beginning, middle, and end for Act 3. Okay, so, and I like to start with the ends of all of these here. So Act 1 has to end with the candy rots your teeth. Okay, so we'll say, I'm kind of liking the theme we're going, so let's keep it in the kid atmosphere, like a younger audience. Kid loses teeth in class. Okay, and this is very simple. I understand what is going on, but what I'm trying to get through, so you guys know where I'm going. We'll say now the kid's in a schoolroom or something, and maybe a kid will come in. When I break this down into a beginning, middle, and end, that's where I could probably talk about, like, maybe a kid comes in from going to the dentist in his class, and the dentist told him, "Sorry, kid, you lost your teeth because you ate too much candy." Okay. I'm just looking at the time, and I'm just going to cut the video off here, but don't worry, I'll include a link to the second part, and we'll keep it going. Okay. So stay tuned, and thanks for stopping by.